I was caring for my husband for many years, and then when he passed away, I found myself with time on my hands. And so I wanted to give back to the community and serve other people. So I was looking around for somewhere to volunteer, and I had been following Jessica's House story in the media for a few years, and I investigated that, Jessica's House, and a few other places, and decided, I wanted to serve others by coming here, because I just feel like hospice care, end-of-life care, is really important. It's a service that's underused right now, and I think it's really important to serve people at the end of their life and make them feel like they're valuable and important up to their last breath, and to relieve the families of the care that they're trying to give them at home, having had to do that myself. Well, because we're a small hospice, I feel like as a volunteer, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, and every shift is different, which is wonderful. I do everything from, sitting with the residents and just talking to them, to interacting with the families, visiting with them, bringing them treats and coffee and tea, to helping the staff with patient care when they need it, to like scrubbing toilets and washing the floors and running errands in town, like getting groceries or dropping off samples at the hospital lab, or just anything that needs to be done. Making tea for the staff, anything that needs to be done. Working here has given me a lot of satisfaction. I leave most shifts I leave very satisfied and very content that I've made a difference in someone's life, which is a great feeling. But on the lighter side too, I've made friends, I've met new people, I've made friends with staff and with other volunteers, and even a couple of family members of people who have passed on at Jessica's House that I've kept in touch with. So, I wish more people would realize that working here isn't depressing. So many people, when I tell them I'm volunteering here, they go, "It's really sad." And I'm like, no, it's a lot of fun. Sure, we have some serious conversations with some of the residents and some of their families sometimes, and there's tears sometimes. But those are important conversations, and they're satisfying conversations because they need to be had. But that's actually the rarity. Like, for the most part, people are really happy to talk about their loved ones, or to talk about their life themselves if they're the one who's passing away. And they love telling stories about their lives, and they get great joy out of someone being interested in them. And we have music in the hallways sometimes. I've been known to dance in people's rooms at times. We have a lot of laughs, actually, so it's a lot of fun. So we had a woman who was a resident here for like 7 months. She had ALS, which is what my husband had. That's what he died from. And she and her family member were here. Well, her family member came pretty much every day and stayed for the whole day, and she had been looking after her at home before she came here. So I got to know the two of them quite well. Was able to share with them, my expertise for what I had gone through, and just give them little tips about when they ran into problems with equipment, or how to go about doing certain things, because they knew that I had gone through the same thing as them. So that was really satisfying to be able to help in that way. And because of this lady's circumstances, I was doing patient care with her pretty much an hour every time I came in, twice a week. And so I got to know her very well. She was so positive and so uplifting to be around. always asking about me and my family and what I had been doing since I'd been last in, and very rarely complaining about anything for herself. She was just someone I really looked up to and considered a friend, and I was privileged to be here the day that she passed away, so I was able to be with her and her family when she left Jessica's house. One thing that happened with her that was kind of a fun thing that's quite memorable was one day I was here and answered the door, and it was a delivery man delivering a parcel for her because it was around her birthday. So I brought it to her. It was a cardboard box, and we opened it up, and it was from a friend, and she had sent her all these clown accessories. So she had the red nose, and she wanted to put the red nose on, and she had like a funny hat, and we put the red funny hat on her, and she wanted pictures taken. And there was one of those flowers that you wear, and then you can squirt water out of the center of it. And she still had enough strength in her hands that she could still squish the little water squishy thing. I didn't do this, but later that night when she went to bed, her sister or the nurse, she asked them to put the flower on her and fill it with water and put her hand on it so that in the morning when the next nurse came and woke her up, she pulled her sheets back, she could squirt her in the face. So she did that. So that was a lot of fun to hear about that. That was the type of person she was, always trying to have fun and make it fun for other people. And another thing that happened with her was she was a very faith-filled woman, and her minister would often come to visit her. And one time she asked him to have a communion service in her room. And the pianist who volunteers here as well, she asked her to come in and with her keyboard and play music for the service. And she invited me. I was so honored. She invited me to attend this communion service too, with her and her family and some friends. And I also felt like I could contribute to that as well, because she wasn't sure how she would be able to receive communion because she couldn't eat anymore. And I said, I know, because I had to do that with my husband. So we figured out a way to make it work for her. And yeah, I felt like I could, help her enjoy that last communion service she was able to attend. There's actually one other resident that stuck out in my mind as well, just for a fun thing that we did. She was here for a few months. She had been an actress and an artist and a dancer, and had led a very interesting life. And one time, the nurse Tori and I were in her room visiting with her, and she always had music playing. And I don't know how, somehow it came up. Tori was saying how she and her boyfriend were going to a wedding soon, and neither one of them knew how to dance. So this song came on. I don't remember what it was. It was a perfect waltzing song. So I'm like, I can teach you how to dance. So the two of us were dancing, and the resident was just laughing and clapping, and just made her day watching us dance around her room. And yeah, it felt like it really gave her a lot of joy that day too.